Okay, so tell us a little bit, who are you, where are you from, what's your background?
I'm Jonathan Swartz. I live in Arizona, teaching at Arizona State University. I grew up in Toronto and then came to the States for most of my musical education.
Okay, so how long is your association with the Madeline Island Music Camp?
I've been coming here for the past 3 years to teach violin and to coach chamber music, and I've been so impressed with the quality of the student and the environment here that attracts the student to come. And the opportunities here for real serious chamber music study is second to none around the country.
I know that this is not public yet, but you are going to become the new music director up here. Is that the proper title? Or is
I think artistic director,
artistic
yeah.
director.
Yes.
So what are you going to what do you bring to this enterprise in terms of a vision for where this camp should go in the future?
You know, there are many things that seem in my life to have moved to this place, and it's the stars seem to be aligning a little bit. When I think about my history and all the things I've been developing in different locations, I have a chamber music program at Arizona State University that involves bringing in these incredible string quartets to work with our students. I've been the education director of the Innsbruck Institute, which is another festival that also has a chamber music emphasis, where I've been creating curriculum for the students. And I see those two things merging here into this incredible environment. And it's just an incredible opportunity that seems like a natural progression for what I've already been doing, and a wonderful opportunity to become a significant part of shaping the future here.
So there have to be a lot of different schools where aspiring musicians go. What makes Madeline Island special?
First of all, the surroundings. This is a real retreat for musicians to be able to come to this environment and be inspired by nature, and at the same time have these incredible facilities where they can do their practicing, where they can meet with other people that are interested in the same things they are, and then have an incredibly engaging faculty that is going to push them in their pursuits. And so it's really a combination of things that makes this setting ideal for students.
Why is the focus just on quartets and chamber music?
Chamber music is the ideal medium for progressing in so many ways as a person, and certainly on your instrument. If you compare it just to playing in an orchestra, for example, where as a string player you would be one of a number of people playing the same music, the same part. When you're in a chamber group, you are the only one playing your part. So the individual responsibility and accountability is much more heightened in chamber music. And then there's the collaborative aspect. You are collaborating with other people in a way that there's not one person that's the leader. At times you have to lead and initiate, and at other times you have to learn how to accept other people's ideas. And in many ways it's a wonderful democracy, and it's a great life lesson. The responsibility to be able to take what you do on your instrument as an individual and then use that and offer that to the others that you're playing in the chamber group with. And then you extend that one step further, and you have to then communicate all of that to your audience with these partners. It's really a wonderful experience that highlights so many things that are important in life.
So you have these musicians that come here, and they come here because they're really pretty good already. And so isn't there some kind of like sublimation of the ego to play in a quartet, or some kind of dynamic, interpersonal dynamic?
Well, as most people learn in life, it's very hard to do it all alone. And if you're going to be successful in anything you do, usually it requires collaboration and partners. And so many of the greatest musicians that would be accomplished as individual players recognize that it's much more inspiring and meaningful to contribute to something that's larger than oneself. And again, the chamber music medium is the perfect vehicle for that.
What would you expect a typical student to take from this experience?
A typical student will come away from here incredibly inspired. They're already coming here because it's something that they like and they want to do, but this accelerates their studies, it accelerates their passion tenfold from what they would do on a daily basis during the year. Again, the environment contributes to that inspiration. Their colleagues, their friends that they make here and that they're playing in chamber music, they learn from each other. And finding people that have common goals and get excited about similar things is incredibly invigorating and inspiring. And then of course, the artists, the faculty that we bring in here, who really lead the way. They set the agenda and set that inspiration. They set a very high standard and they reflect it in the way that they teach and also in the way that they perform.
So you're bringing in some pretty talented special faculty. Could you say more about that?
We bring in faculty from all over the country. We engage with different professional string quartets that are active, that are out there having incredible careers. So they've built great reputations for themselves. We are particularly interested in ones that aren't only phenomenal performers, but ones that are committed teachers, because that's what this experience is about. And we've been very fortunate to find groups that embrace what we're offering here and want to be a part of that. And then in addition to the quartets, we bring in individual faculties. Folks like myself for the past 3 years that have been coming just to teach violin lessons, or someone that might teach cello or teach viola, where we're working one-on-one with students and really honing their individual skills. So, excuse me.
Yeah. Hold on a second, I'm gonna faculty.
So, and then we have individual faculty that might teach at universities like I do, that come from many different schools, maybe Indiana or Arizona, different places around the country. And this is another part of the experience here for students, is that they have an opportunity to get to know these different teachers, not just learn from their experience, but they have an opportunity to network with those teachers. Maybe they're a teacher that they're going to want to go continue their studies with for graduate school. Maybe they're just a teacher that will help them get placed in the music profession in some way. So the contact that the students are having with all of our faculty is essential to the experience here, and it's also why we bring in such a high level of faculty.
It's kind of interesting to me that, you know, the students come up here from all over the country, and then somehow they're put into quartets. They don't necessarily even know each other, and they're put into this situation where they have to play together. Any thoughts on what produces or the dynamics of that?
Well, actually, we have a combination. We will have some groups that come already assembled as a group, so they do know each other, but it's true that the majority of the students are being put in groups with folks that they don't know. This is part of the art, if you will, of the artistic director, to be able to figure out, based on performance ability, based on maturity, based on previous experience, what four people might work well together. And this is where Evelina Chow has been exceptional over the past few years in putting together these groups and finding these incredible matches. Now, in these chamber groups and in life, it may not always be perfect, but as in life, we have to learn to be able to work in situations where it's not always ideal. So I don't think we've ever had any major train wrecks, but it's natural that there will be different personalities and not everyone will see eye to eye on everything. And again, the experience of playing in chamber music gives us a vehicle for working on our personal skills that will make us better people, make us understanding of each other, make us good collaborators, make us understand how we can offer what it is that we have to offer while at the same time receiving what other people have to offer. And that's chamber music in a nutshell.
So in this year, 2014, why is it that the humanities, the arts, and especially music are important to a society?
The arts have been important throughout history. They contribute to our imagination and our inspiration. You take some of the greatest scientists in the world, and they were also artists. And it's almost impossible to imagine that inspiration that moves society forward without humanities and the arts. I think these things are interchangeable. It's amazing to think that we are continuing to play music that was written hundreds and hundreds of years ago, that this is how enduring this art form is, that is meaningful to us today. And I'm not speaking only to the musicians who study it, but the people that we offer it to. We find Beethoven as compelling today as he may have been back when he was alive. And at the same time, we have people who are creating new art today, art of our time, and that's something that I think is also important for us to be embracing. Many times audiences are not familiar with a certain style, and so upon first hearing, it might not be agreeable to their senses. But taking that extra step to understand what is it that is compelling this artist, in what way that makes this work of art, and recognizing that this person is influenced by today, by our surroundings. And if we open ourselves up to that, we might have a different perspective on what the life that we lead today entails, and all of its trials and tribulations and wonderful moments as well.
As artistic director, how do you see your role at the Madeline Island Music Camp? What are you going to do that would be different or the same? Or?
Mm-hmm. I feel very fortunate to be joining Madeline Island in this role at a time when the program is so healthy. Its growth has been wonderful over the number of years that I've been aware of the program, and it has a long history before I was aware of it. And it's an incredible journey that this program is on, and it's on an extremely high upward trajectory. And so it's exciting for me to be a part of that. My first plan is to embrace everything that's been so wonderful in its history, and then to understand where we are poised for continuing growth. The program's reputation is growing exponentially, and it's attracting great students, and it's attracting faculty that want to be a part of what we're offering. And so there are many opportunities to continue to, in many ways, accelerate that growth, to create the enthusiasm, to create an environment where Madeline Island is the center for chamber music study.
Say something about Madeline Island itself. Is there some kind of enchantment about this place or magic that adds to the program?
Absolutely. The island is beautiful. Throughout time, artists have been inspired by nature. And so what better place for our young artists to be honing their craft than to be surrounded by nature? A fact that what we do is entertainment. And you have a lot of people that come here during the summer for their vacations that want entertainment. And so it's a perfect marriage for us to be working really hard and then to share the fruits of our labor in performance with people that want to be entertained. So in addition to us honing our craft here, needing an audience to share that with, and this is a perfect environment not only because people come here and they want to be entertained, but many times they want to be stimulated. They want something that is thought-provoking. They want something that is outside their everyday experience. They can always turn on a TV. They can always turn on some form of media and get things, get information, get some sense of entertainment. But to be engaged in a concert hall or in an environment where you have musicians who are communicating to you through sounds and through emotions is an experience that people want. And so it makes Madeline Island a perfect match for what we're doing.
You know, as I was mentioning before, in this pop culture, to me it's extremely gratifying as someone who loves classical music to see that there are still, a lot of young people that are interested in classical music. Are the numbers of students that are going into this increasing, decreasing, or staying the same in this day and age?
I think that they're staying the same, but I think the opportunities are changing. And in many ways, there are more opportunities today for people who want to build their careers through chamber music than there are in symphony orchestras, for example. We hear all the time about the issues that many of the orchestras are having, and many orchestras that are folding. And so the opportunities may not be in that track as much as they were 50 years ago. But you take a string quartet and you put them in a community and let them get into that community and go to the schools and play for students and put on weekly performances, and they embed themselves in a community that makes them invaluable. They become the artistic ambassadors for that community. And with chamber music, you can do that all over the world in many different ways. So there are lots of opportunities for people today in chamber music. It does require, in many instances, that the students have to be more entrepreneurial. They have to be willing to take some chances and show communities what it is that they have to offer. They may not be able to just, respond to an ad and get a job. String quartet wanted. But many quartets are thriving today because they are embedding themselves in communities and providing something extremely valuable.
To me, it's interesting how instead of pursuing the almighty dollar, people, out of some kind of love for something in music, that they'll devote their lives to it, and that it's so rigorous to be good. Is there any questions I should have asked? As the artistic director, do you have any other thoughts that I've missed at this point? I mean, I can always interview you later, but is there something else you'd like to say?
Just that Madeline Island is a chamber music. Let me say that again.
Yeah.
Madeline Island Music Camp is such a special place. Its long history and its continued growth make it a place that has roots, a place with strong roots where continuing to grow is possible. And that's not the case everywhere. And so I am honored to be asked to lead Madeline Island for the next while into the future. I am humbled by the hard work that everyone has done before me and continues to do with this organization. And all I can say is it's an exciting time for the program, and it's an exciting time for me personally to be able to help shape the future of this program.
Good. Thank you.